Good morning, guys. So in the last session, we created our Angular application and we installed Bootstrap and jQuery in our Angular application. We configured the styles and scripts in the angular.json file, and we configured some global styles also. Then we created one binding class to map the form data, right? The binding class name that we are taking as account class. So let me go to our binding class that we created. That is account.ts. So these are the variables that I'm taking in the account.ts class, which contains the data, right? Now we can write a constructor also for this. Fine. So this is our account class, which is used to map our front-end application data with the back-end application. So if you see here, our back-end application available user account form, whatever the variables are available in the backend, same variables I'm taking in the front end also. Because whenever we go for create account, when we submit this form data will go from Angular to backend application. So that's the reason in the Angular application, I have taken one binding class with the variables which are available in the Spring Boot application. Then after that, we have injected HTTP client module in the app module.ts because we need to communicate with the backend REST API by using HTTP client. So that's why HTTP client module I have injected in the app module. So app module.ts file available. I injected a HTTP client module and forms module. Forms module is used to develop forms with two-way data binding. HTTP client module is used to send the request for our backend application. After that, we created a service class to write the business logic. To create the service, we are using ng generate service account. We created one account service class. You can see account.service.ts. Account service is created. We configured backend API URL. It is just a dummy URL as of now. In the service, I injected HTTP client object, which is used to send the request using HTTP protocol methods. Then there is a method called create account method, which is used to insert one user account in the table by using backend, and get accounts method to get all the user accounts which are available, get account by ID to get one record based on the given ID, update account status for the given account. I want to change the status. Either I want to activate the account, I want to perform account activation, or I want to deactivate the account. So that information can be done by using update account status method. Then after service layer implementation completed in the front end, we created three components. Three components we created. One is the create account component. Second one is account list component, account edit component. So to create the account one component, to display the accounts one component, to edit the account another component. So for that, we created three components. Component represents the logic in the front-end application, right? Component will have a template. Component will have a CSS. Every component will have its own template. Every component will have its own CSS. Every component will have its own template. Every component will have its own CSS. Then we imported forms module, right? Already it is done. Then after we configure the routings. So when which component should be executed in our application, that information we configured in the routing module. When the URL pattern is accounts, it should go to account list component. When the URL pattern is edit, then it should go to account edit component. When the URL pattern is create account, it should go to create account component. When the URL pattern is empty, it should redirect to the accounts which are available. Okay. So like this, we configure routings in our application. Then after routings, we need to develop the actual logic, guys. Let me go to our diagram. In this, we need to understand how to develop our logic. Actual logic we need to develop. 1 minute. Now here, you see, we created component. Three components are available, and we created a service and HTTP client. Our service with the backend logic is ready. Our service with the backend logic is ready. Now we need to write the logic in the component and we need to write the logic in the template. Look at this diagram. All of you able to understand the execution flow of our front-end application? All of you able to understand the execution flow of our front-end application? In the front-end application, service is available which contains the business logic to access the back-end application. Components are available for every a portion of the web page. For every web page, we created one component. Every component is having its own template. Template will contain presentation logic and data will be exchanged between the component and template to component. Two-way data binding will be available. Service we need to use in the component. Service will be injected to component by using dependency injection. One minute, guys. Yeah. Are you clear with this diagram? Are you clear with this diagram? Shall we start writing the logic in the component and templates? Shall we start writing the logic in the components and templates? Yesterday, we completed up to 10 steps in our application development. Today, we need to complete the remaining 10 steps, guys. 10 steps development is completed. We need to complete the remaining 10 steps. First one, I'm going to work on create account components. Okay. So create account component is responsible to take the form data and send the form data to backend application. For that, go to create account component. Create account component. There is a TS file. Currently, there is no logic available in the create account component. So first of all, let me declare my binding object. Account is equal to new account. Why I am storing this creating binding object? It is used to capture this form data. I want to establish data binding between the component and template. To establish the relation between the component and template, I'm creating binding object here. And my component should talk to service layer. So let me inject service in the component. For that, we are going to use constructor. We are going to use constructor. By using this constructor, I will inject service object. How to inject it? Private variable. I will take constructor injection, account service, so data type and account service, comma. I'm going to take router object also. I need to route the request. For that, I'm going to inject router as well. I'm doing constructor injection. I'm doing constructor injection for my create account component. I'm creating binding object to bind the form data to the component to the form. Then I'm injecting account service in the component and I'm injecting router also in the component so that component can take the data from the template. Component can call the service method. So here I'm writing one method called save account. I'm writing one method called save account. So what is the purpose of this save account method? Save account method is responsible to save the data. How to save the data? Form data will be binded to account object. We need to call this dot account service dot create account by passing the account object. Okay. So this is going to save our account by using method. In the create account component, I'm writing one function called save account function. This dot account service dot create account. This account object I am passing. Now that service method is going to return the data by using observable. For that I'm going for subscribe. So whatever the response we are going to get from this method, I want to hold that response by using this subscribe. Okay. So I'm going to subscribe for the response, what it is going to provide. I'm going to subscribe for the response, what it is going to provide. Whatever the data that we are getting, I'm subscribing for that data, and I'm going to specify this dot message is equal to data. So I'm going to take one message variable here that represents success message or error message. That represents success message or error message. Go to our service layer, create account. It is passing the object. I want to store that object into one variable. This dot message is equal to data. Now let me typecast that to the string, or else console.log of data. Whatever the data that we are getting from our backend API, I'm subscribing to that data. I'm logging that data by using console. Are you guys clear? Here I'm calling account service dot create account. So this is the method I'm calling. This method is expecting a object. This method will send a post request to the backend application with the account data. Now, once I call this method, whatever the response it is giving, that response I'm subscribing, and I am logging on the console to see what response we are getting from the backend application. Okay, this method I want to call when this form is submitted. How to call this method when the form is submitted? Simply you can write one method that is called onSubmit. When the form is submitted, this method will be called this dot save account. That's it. This dot save account. So with this create account component is ready. If you observe in the create account component, I'm creating binding object to map the data. Then I am injecting service object and router object here. So here I'm writing one onSubmit method. Whenever this form is submitted, then that method should be called. OnSubmit method should be called. That OnSubmit method internally calling save account method. Save account method is calling service layer method by passing binding object and subscribing to the response and logging the response on the console by using console.log method. Are you clear with create account component logic? Are you clear with create account component logic? Come on, guys. Simple. Taking the form data and calling the service method. Component is acting as a mediator between the template and service. From the template, data will come. Then component will call the service method. Service method will call the HTTP client method. HTTP client method will send that data to backend REST API. Come on, guys, please confirm. Are you clear with this component logic, which is used to create the account? Are you clear with the component logic, which is used to create the account? Come on. No one is responding in the chat box. Are you able to understand the code that I'm writing to save the contact from Angular application to Spring Boot application? In the Angular application, template will be available. Template is a HTML file which contains the presentation logic. Whenever you click on the submit button in the template, I want to take the form data and I want to call the component method, component function. Submit button is binded to a function in the component. Component will call the service method. Service method will call the HTTP client. HTTP client will send the request to the Spring Boot application. That is the logic we have written in the create component class. This is my binding object. Here I'm injecting the service object through constructor. On button submit, I want to call this function. This function internally calling save contact. Inside the save contact, I am calling service method, and I am printing the response, whatever we are getting from the service on the console. So that is the logic. Are you clear? Guys, please respond. Should I repeat or I should go for next topic? I don't know. I'm waiting for your answer. No one is giving any response. If you don't give any response, I will stop the session. If you're not interested, why should we waste your time and my time? If you don't respond, I will stop the session. Why to have this UI class? You already completed Angular classes. I'm doing a project on this. You are not responding for that. If you're not interested, let me know. I will stop the session. I have a lot of work. Create account component got completed. Now, in this, we have a template for that component. We need to write the presentation logic. What is the presentation logic? We need to display our form fields. We need to develop presentation logic for that component. Component logic is ready. We need to write the presentation logic for that. So Angular forms we need to build for that. I have created already the presentation logic for this. You can reuse the same logic. Okay. It is just developing a form by using template driven approach in the Angular. Now, this is our presentation logic. So here create account is available. Create user account. Create user account. Form ng submit. This is a directive. On submit available. For full name, one text field that is mapped to account.fullname. So full name is a text field. It is mapped to full name field in the account binding class. And this is email text field binded to account email variable. Similarly, mobile number is binded and gender is binded. Date of birth is binded. SSN is binded. Finally, one submit button is available. This is our presentation logic. We have created a template with the presentation logic. So for every component, one template file will be available. So whenever you submit the form, from the template form data will be binded to component class variable. So if you see in the component TS, I'm creating one empty account object. So this account data is a mapped to this form, account.fullname, account.email, account.mobile number, account.gender, account.dob, account.ssn. Like this, we are mapping our form data to the binding object. So that whenever you click on this submit, then it will call ng submit. On submit function will be called in the component. When the form is submitted, on submit function will be called. In the on submit, what I am doing, save contact function. What the save contact will do, it will call the service method. This is the flow. You will submit the button in the template. It will call the component function. Component will call the service function. Service will send the request to backend REST API by using HTTP client. By using HTTP client. So that is the logic available in the template. Template is used for presentation. Component will have the logic to send the data to template and capture the data from the template. And the component will call the service method. Service method contains the logic to send the request to backend application. Got it? Fine. So once this component is completed for creating the account, the next step is we need to write the logic in the account list component. Here we need to write multiple methods here, guys. See here, account list. So we need to write one function to get the all the accounts, and one function to edit the account, another function to update the account. So total 3 functions are required in the component. There is a component called account list component available. Account list component is responsible to display this page. Okay, so to display this page, one function is responsible to load the data, one function is responsible to edit, another function is responsible to update the account. So let us go for list account. Account list component is available. Let us go here. Let us go here and check that account list component available. In the account list component, currently no logic is available. We need to write the logic here. We need to write the logic here to manage view accounts page. To manage view accounts page. So now see here, in order to view the accounts, first of all, let me write one method, get all accounts. I'm writing one function, get all accounts. This is one function. Then we need another function to update the account or to edit the account. Edit account. Okay. And we need one more function, update account. So total 3 functions we need to write in the component. One function is used to get all the accounts. Another function is used to edit the particular account. Third function is used to update the account. Look at the view accounts page. Look at the view accounts page. So whenever I click on view accounts, it should display all the accounts. When I click on this icon, the particular account status should be updated. When I click on edit, that account should come in the editable mode. So how many functions we need to write in the component? We need to write 3 functions in the component. One is used to display all the accounts. Another one is used to update the account. Another one is used to edit the account. Okay, guys. Now here, in order to do this operation, first we need to inject service object, because business logic is available in the service. Component should communicate with the service. So for this, let me inject service object by using constructor. Okay, let us write a constructor for this. Private account service, comma, private router, comma, route. So with this, our service object is injected. So what is the meaning of get all accounts? I want to call the service method. Account service dot this dot account service dot get accounts. I want to get all the accounts. So where to store the accounts? How to send this accounts data? I want to subscribe to the accounts data, and I want to send the accounts to the UI application. I want to send accounts to the UI application. How to send accounts to the UI application? For that, I'm going to create one variable accounts that is related to account array, that is empty array. I created one empty array which is used to store the data given by service method. This dot accounts is equal to data, right? So when I am calling this service method called get accounts method, it will give me the accounts array data. Get method is available in the service. Get accounts method is available. What this method will return? This method will return the account array. Now that account array I am storing into one variable. This can be accessed in the template data binding. So I'm calling the service layer method. Service layer method will give me the data. That data I'm initializing into current class variable by using this dot variable is equal to data. Whatever the accounts we are getting from the backend application, we are storing into component class variable, so that data we can access in the template. Perfect. So with this, we are good with the get all accounts. What about edit the account? So whenever you click on edit, that particular account you need to edit and display in the editable mode. So for this, for the edit account, we need a account ID. For editing the account, we need account ID. So once you get the ID, then what we need to do? We need to edit that particular account. To edit that particular account, I don't write any logic here because edit component already created. I will just redirect. Okay. This dot router dot navigate. I want to navigate this request to another component. What is the component we have? Edit component we have. For the edit component, I will pass ID as a parameter. That is request routing. Whenever you click on this edit icon, whenever you click on this edit icon, I will redirect that request to edit account component. Okay. How to redirect the request? By using router. So whenever you click on the edit button, that account ID will come. Based on that ID, I will route the request to edit method. Now, where this edit is configured? Edit is configured in the routing module. When the request comes with the edit, it should go to edit component. Whenever request comes with the edit with the ID, then it should go to account edit component. It should go to account edit component. That is the reason whenever edit account function is called, I'm simply redirecting the request to another component by using router. Are you clear with the two methods? One is get all accounts. Another one is edit account. What is the meaning of get all accounts? It has to get all the accounts from the backend and store into this variable. This variable we will access in the front end to display the data. The next one is edit account. What is the purpose of edit account? Particular ID we will take to edit the record and it will route the request to account edit component. Okay. The next one, we have update account function. To update the account, we need account ID and account status. For this, ID number we are going to take, comma, status string we are going to take. What is the ID and what is the status? What is the ID and what is the status? We are getting number and status. So now I need to call my service function. Okay. This dot account service dot update account status by passing this ID and status. ID and status we are passing subscribe. It is going to give some response. That response I want to log. Console.log of data we are getting from the service layer method. So with this, three methods are ready. One is used to display the accounts. One is used to edit the account. Another one is used to update the account status. Look at these methods in the account list component. Can you guys look at this method? I'm writing three methods in the component. One is used to get all the accounts. One is used to edit the account. Another one is used to update the account. Are you guys clear? Are you guys clear with this? Getting all the accounts, edit the particular account, and update the particular account. Come on. Yes. Now, for this, we need to write the UI for the view accounts. Account list component, we need to display the data in the table format with the hyperlinks, edit and update. Now, for that, I have prepared that UI logic, guys. So we need to print the ID, name, email, phone number, gender, and action. So we need to print the data in the table format. For this, presentation logic available. Okay. This is the presentation logic we are writing to print accounts data. ID, user ID, I mean to say account ID, full name, email, mobile number, gender, SSN we are printing. And we are writing the hyperlink. Buttons we are writing delete and edit we are giving. Okay. Now edit and delete we are giving. So let me write this first. First we will get the edit, then we will get the update. Okay. I'm giving some space. Yeah. So update account, button info, edit the account, button danger, update. Okay. This one activate or deactivate. You can change this accordingly. When the account status is active, it should display deactivate. When the account status is deactivated, it should display activate. Conditionally, we need to display. If the account is already active, it should display deactivate. If the account is deactivated, it should display activated. That we can change later point of time. Currently, I am writing just status update, update status. Okay. Or else let me give as activate. Later we can change it. Conditionally, we need to display that button. Based on the current status, we need to display the opposite status. If the status is active, we should display inactive. If the status is inactive, we should display active. We need to switch that. So this is the UI template for the view accounts page. This is the UI template for the view accounts page. We are displaying all the accounts data. Accounts data will come from the service layer, will store into this variable. This variable I'm accessing and I'm displaying a table by using ng-for. ng-for is a directive to iterate the data available in the array. Okay. So with this, presentation logic for account list template is done. The next one, add the application logic in the edit component to TS, right? Edit account to component to TS. So whenever user click on edit, it is redirecting to edit component now. So for that, we need to write the logic. So two components completed. One is create account, account list. Now we should go to edit account. In the edit account, currently no logic is available. We should write the logic in the edit component also. So what we need to do in the edit component. So whenever we edit the record, we should display that record in the editable mode and you should be able to update that record. Okay. So that edit component we can do later point of time. First, let's try. Are we able to insert the data or not? Are we able to insert the data? Are we able to retrieve the data or not? Can we test these two functionalities, guys? Can we test these two functionalities? Are we able to insert the data and are we able to retrieve the data with the backend application? Our Spring Boot backend admin API is available. Are we able to insert the data? Are we able to retrieve the data? We need to try. Edit functionality is pending. Edit and update is pending. We will do it later point of time. Then edit component I am not touching here. So as we configure the router, we need to configure the router outlet in our application. Okay. So we need to go to parent component, that is app component.html, IES UI application. So here we need to configure our router. Okay. So div class is equal to, let me configure container. Now inside this container, I'm going to configure router outlet. So what is the purpose of router outlet? Particular router which is executed, it should load that data into the router outlet. Okay, let's try running this application. Let's try running this application. Go to terminal. We are done with the two functionalities, creating account and retrieving the accounts. That's it. If it is working, then we can go with the next functionality. First, let's test it. My command prompt, bring that down. Okay. CD space IES UI application. And in the IES UI application, ng sub. I'm trying to run this project to verify the front-end application behavior. Project is getting started. Yeah, application started. Go and access it. Localhost colon 4200. Localhost colon 4200. IAS UI application. Go to console, not page source. Inspect. Yeah, go to console. There is a error. Accounts, please provide path match. The default value of path match is prefix. So it is giving some error. That's why our application is not loaded properly. So they are expecting path match app.module.ts. In the routing, we have configured the routings. Redirect to accounts, and I need to specify path match is equal to full. If path matched fully if the path is matched, then I want to redirect that to accounts. So we need to specify routing. In the routing, we need to specify to which component you want to route the request. To which component you need to route the request. Path match colon full. Correct. Now it compiled successfully. Go here. Yes, guys. So with this, we are able to access view accounts page, but currently no data is available in the accounts page. That's why our application is displaying a table. Just table headers are coming. Table data is not coming. Why table data is not coming? So we don't have the data. We don't have the data. It will go to whenever you run your application, whenever you access your application, if you observe, by default, it is going to accounts page. Now, when I access localhost colon 4200, it is redirecting to /accounts. Why it is redirecting to /accounts? Because we have configured in the routing in such a way, when the path is empty, redirected to accounts. What is the accounts? Account is account list component. What is there in the account list component? In the account list component, currently get all accounts function, edit account function, update account function is available. But these functions are not called. These functions are not called. Just we added the functions. We need to call these functions. So how to call this function by default? Like a init method, we need to implement ng on init. Okay. We need to implement one interface. When you implement one interface, on init function will be called ng on init. Whenever you implement that interface, you can override a method that is called on init method, ng on init. So this is going to call this dot get all accounts. So it is like an init method, guys. It is like an init method. So this component class is implementing on init interface. What is the meaning of that? Whenever this component is loaded, I want to call this method directly. In this method, I am calling get all accounts. Now you will get the error. Now you will get the error. Why you will get the error? Because our backend application URL is wrong. Okay, clear the console. Clear the console. Clear the console. See here, it is giving unknown URL. We are getting the error with the URL. So a lot of errors we are going to get, guys. We need to solve the errors one by one. When I access this application, by default it is redirected to /accounts. After redirecting to /accounts, it is trying to call this ng on init. It is calling get all accounts. Get all accounts is calling the service method. Our service method is calling the backend REST API URL, but our backend REST API URL is incorrect. Let me run with the localhost colon 8080. Let me run our backend project. Now you see, this is our Spring Boot backend application. Request will come to REST controller. This is account REST controller. Now account creation process started. Loggers are available. Let us see the loggers are printing or not. Let me run as boot application. My backend application I'm running, so that we'll see the integration is happening between the front end application and backend application or not. Okay. Our backend application started. All the tables got created. Clear the console. Now, clear the console. Application startup complete. Now go to our front-end application. Refresh that. Oh, now you got a different error. Earlier we got an error as unknown URL. But this time we are getting course policy. We are getting the course policy error. So that means when two applications are running on the same machine, one application is not able to access another application due to security reasons. Course policy is not allowing. The URL is blocked. Our Spring Boot application URL is not able to access by Angular application. To resolve this error, we need to write one annotation called cross origin. What is the annotation, guys? Cross origin annotation we have to write. Then it will allow the request. Okay. If you don't write the cross origin, integration cannot happen. Now let me do the update of DDL org. Cross origin I have specified to enable the integration. This problem you will get when two applications are running in the same machine. When two applications are running in the same machine, you will get the cross origin related issue. I have given cross origin annotation. Let me run my project. Run the boot application. Run the boot application. My Spring Boot application is getting started. I want to send a request from front-end application to back-end application. Go to our front-end application. It is already in the running status. Front-end application is already in the running status. Just to go to the front-end and refresh. Okay. Now, course policy, the URL is wrong. Unknown URL, 2 hyphens are coming. I think in the service layer, I have given wrong URL. We should not give, here I have given 1 slash, here I have given the slash. So it is making two slashes here, that is becoming the wrong URL. So remove 1 slash here, so that 8080/account, that slash I have given here. I have given 2 slashes, so because of this, it is failing. Now refresh. Now when I refresh, am I facing any exception? Finally, our integration is successful. Are we facing any exception here? We are not facing any exception here. Go to Spring Boot application. Now can you see our queries are executing? Can you see our queries are executing? That means, are we able to make the request from front-end application to back-end application? We are able to make the request from front-end application to back-end application. Are you guys clear? Now, we are able to make the request from front-end application to back-end application. But we are not getting any data. We know that because in our database, there are no records available. Show tables, IES user accounts table is available. Select star from table name. Select star from table name. In our table, there is no record available. So empty table. The table is empty. So that's why we are not getting any records. But all the exceptions are resolved. In the console, there is no exception. Now let me go for another router, which is used to create the account, where I configure the routings. Create account is the URL pattern. It should go to create account component. In the create account component, the template will be loaded. Go to create account. Now, when I go for create account, are we able to see our form? Create user account, full name, email, phone number, gender, date of birth, and SSN. Yes, we are having the form. We are having the form. When I click on the submit, form data should go to the backend. It has to insert that form data into database table. Okay, guys, we will get a lot of errors because we are doing the first time. Okay, now enter the full name. Let's enter as a John. john@gmail.com, phone number 123456778, gender, let me give as male, date of birth, let me give the date of birth as some value. Okay, SSN number, we are giving some number. Now observe carefully. I'm trying to submit the form from the front end. So clear the screen, console in the back end, and click on submit. I have done the submit. It failed. It failed. Now here we got the exception in the backend. We got the exception in the backend. No suitable resolver, app exception handler. We are facing a problem. Could not resolve. We got the exception. Clear the console. Go to the front end. Go to the front end. See the console of the front end. What is the problem? Okay. Response. The server responded with a status of 400. Okay, bad request. 400 means it is a bad request. Why it is failing? Now clear the console and observe. I'm submitting the form again. Click on submit. I have submitted. So there is some problem. When I submit the form, I'm getting the issue. I'm getting the issue. Exception handler, app exception handler executed. Handler exception, no suitable resolver. java.lang.string. Maybe I think it is related to date issue. I think it is related to date issue, date conversions. Maybe because of the date conversion. So for time being, let me make the data as a string type entity. In the user entity, the date is available as a local date. The date is available as a local date. But in the front end, we are giving the date as a string. Account.ts. DOB we have given as a string in the front end. But in the back end, it is available as a date. If I take DOB as a date here, if I take the DOB as a date here, DOB as a date. Date is not taking. Let me go with the string. When I take the data as a string here, in the backend also, for time being, let me change it as a string. Now, in the user entity, I'm taking the data as a string. So I need to change the data type. Once the flow is working, we can fix all these issues, guys. So first, happy path should be success. I have taken the date, account form. In the account form also, date is as a local date. Let me take it as a string. Okay. I need to recreate my table because data type got changed. Let me go with the create option. Let me rerun my application, backend application, so that tables will be dropped and recreated. Column data type got changed. Yeah, all the tables got dropped and it recreated the tables. Okay. Clear the console. Fine. Now go to front end application. Again, create account, page loaded. Now let me give some dummy data. Gender, male, date of birth, some value, SSN, some value. Now, this is our console. Backend console also clear. Now, in the database, if you see, our table is empty, no records available, and click on submit. I have done the submit. Now, this time there is another error. Okay. Local address contains controller white space in the string, user registration. Okay. Now, go to the backend application, select the star from table name. Wow. Our record is inserted or not? Guys, record inserted successfully or not? Where I have given this data? I have given this data in the front-end application. From the front-end application, we are able to send the data to the back-end application. Our Spring Boot is inserting the record. User ID generated, status is logged, active switch is Y, date of birth, email ID, full name, gender, mobile number, random password, role ID, SSN. Role ID coming as 0, we will change that. So 1 means 0 means, 1 means admin, 2 means case worker, like that we will set it. SSN number we are getting. All the data is inserted, but some exception is coming here. What is that exception? This is, I think so, SMTP issue, email sending. The issue is related to SMTP. Let me go to our service layer, account service IMPL, email utils. Yes, I'm sending the email. Email sending will not work because I have given incorrect SMTP credentials. I have given incorrect SMTP credentials in my application. So it is not going to send the email. For now, I have commented my email sending functionality. I have commented my email sending functionality. Perfect. Let's clear the screen. Now, let us go and resubmit this. Let us go and resubmit this, clear the console, recreate the application. Table got recreated because of create option. Table got empty. Go to the front end. I'm giving my details. Click on submit. I have done the submit. Okay. I have done the form submit. I've done the form submit. Go to our backend application. In the backend application, there is still error. Internet address Java, my message helper, account service impl.java, email utils.java, helper.set to address. Okay, this complete my message object we are going to comment. We are getting problem with this. Email sending having a problem. Email sending is having a problem. Okay, good. Now, I have commented that logic. Application will restart. Let me restart my application. I don't want to restart the database tables again and again. Let me go with the update. Perfect. Refresh. Run the application. Run as boot app. Application is getting started. Backend application is starting. It's starting. Go to front end application. Create account. Page is loaded. Enter the details. Phone number, some data. Gender, date of birth, some value. SSN, some number I'm giving. Good. Go to table. Select a star from table name. We don't have any data in the table. Go to the Angular application, click on submit. Submitted. Go to the console. This time, no exception. We are getting logger, account created successfully. Go to the database, select a star from user accounts. Yes, we are able to create one account in the database table. We are able to create one account in the database table. From the Angular application, we are creating account in the database table by using front end, back end. Here, if you see, template is available. We are entering the data in the template. We are clicking on submit button. Template will talk to component function. Component function will talk to service function. Service function will talk to backend REST API by using HTTP client as a mediator. Now let me go for another URL, accounts. Whatever the account we created, are we able to fetch that? Accounts. Wow. Yes, we are able to retrieve the account also which we have created. Here we have created one account. Here we are able to fetch the account that we created. We created a Ashok IT account. That account we are getting. Okay. So update functionality will not work. Activate, deactivate also will not work. Just we have done creation and retrieval. Account creation, account retrieval we have done. Let us create one more account. Going to the create account, John. john@gmail.com. Okay, for the John, I am giving some phone number, gender male, date of birth some value, SSN number some value. Click on submit. John account is created. Go here, check the accounts. Yes, John account also we are able to get. So with this, we are able to understand how to develop a front-end application to insert the data, how to send the data to the backend, how to retrieve the data from the backend. When you click on create account, form data is going to the backend application. When you click on view accounts, data is coming to the front-end application. We are able to create the account and we are able to retrieve the account. Okay. Now here, when the account is created, you can see user ID. Basically, this is the account ID 1, 2. That ID is not coming to the front end. What is the reason? Check the entity. In the user entity, user ID is available. In the binding class, user account form, user ID is available. Same thing, user ID, user ID. Now, in the front end, how we have done, user ID is available. Okay, that is good. But in the display, it is not coming. Account list.html, account.user ID. That's fine. Why it is not coming? ID should come to display here. From the backend, we are retrieving all the records. From the backend, we are retrieving all the records, and those records we are able to displaying in the front end. When I'm displaying in the front end, ID is not displaying. Name, email, phone number, gender, SSN is coming. ID is not coming. Why that ID is not coming? Check it. Integer user ID we have, and entity also. Oh, yes. The problem here, data type I have given as a long. Here data type I have given as an integer. Because of that, it is not mapping. Okay. Here also give that as a long value. Then you will get it. Data type mismatch. Refresh. Now we are getting the ID also. Account 1, account 2. There are 2 accounts available in our application. We are able to get those 2 accounts here. Okay. Can we add the menu for this? Let me add the menu. I have given some code to add the menu also. Navigation bar I want to add. So let me go for navigation bar. Nav bar, I'm going to start here and I'm going to end this nav bar here. In the app component, above the router, we can add the nav bar. Every time I can't type the URL. So let me go with the app.component.html. Before the router, let me add the nav bar. So in the nav bar, router link, I'm going to give as accounts, and this is create account. So one is account and another one is account. View accounts, create account. View accounts and create account. 2 hyperlinks I have given, create account, view account. Right. Now go to our application. Yes, we are getting the navigation bar, view accounts, create account. When I click on the create account, the page is coming to create. When I click on view accounts, the existing accounts it is displaying. Create account and view accounts. Right. Let me create another account. Let me create for Smith email ID, smith@gmail.com, phone number some 12345, gender is male, date of birth some value, SSN 123456890. Click on submit. Account created. View accounts, Smith record is also created. So with this account creation, accounts display, we are able to do. So we can give the menu, the nav bar, we can give side nav bar also we can give, and top nav bar also we can give. Side nav bar or top nav bar also we can give for our application. Whenever I create the account, the success message is not coming. I want to display the success message. Go to create account, account.ts, save account. Now on the console, save account is printing the message on the console. Let me see on the console what message it is printing. Go to the console, clear that, create the account, enter some details, some robot, email, robot@gmail.com, phone number, some value, gender, date of birth, SSN. Click on submit. Yes, we are getting the message as account created. We are getting the message as account created. So whatever the response we are getting from the backend application, we are able to log that response. Now I want to display that response in the front end. I want to display that response in the front end. Here message is available now. Create component.html, create user account. Here I want to print that message by using interpolation. Message I want to print it. How to populate this value to that? Now data is coming. Data dot toString. Data dot toString. This dot message is equal to data dot toString. Whatever the response we are getting from the backend application, same response I'm storing into the message variable. That message variable I'm accessing here. That message variable I'm accessing here. If you want to access that message in some green color, something like this, let me keep in the H3 or H4. For a H4, I want to set the CSS. For a H4, I want to set the color as green. Okay, now let's try. Creating the account again. View accounts, create account. Account creation I want to do. Let me go for Charles, view accounts. There are 4 accounts available. Create the account. Let me go for Kathy. Kathy@gmail.com. Kathy@gmail.com. Phone number 3214. Gender female. Date of birth 12/12/1999. SSN 987654321. Something like this. Click on submit. Now you are getting a message. Account create. Page is not refreshing, but the response is coming. Page is not refreshing, but the response is coming. And view accounts, Kathy account is created. Now go and create one more account. This time let me create Raju. Raju@gmail.com. Phone number something. Gender is male. Date of birth, SSN number, something like this. Click on submit. Account created. View accounts, Raju account got created. So view accounts, create accounts is available. Are you able to understand this? How we are integrated our front-end application with the back-end application? How we integrated our front-end application with the back-end application? Yes, simple. We created component, we created service. First, we created a binding class to map the data. Everything, step by step, we have given. We created a project and we installed Bootstrap and jQuery for the styles purpose. And we configured the footer. If you see for our application, footer is not coming now. We will add the footer also for that. Okay. Then styles are added for that. Then after, we have created a binding class to map the backend data with the front-end data. Okay. And make sure your backend API binding class and front-end binding class variables are same, because front-end it's sending the data to the backend giving the data to the front-end. We need to map those variables properly. Got it. Then after, we create imported HTTP client module and forms module in app.module.ts file. Created a service class. In our service class, we have taken all the methods. Currently, I am using localhost 8080. API is running in the local. For the API, you need to give one important annotation called cross origin. Otherwise, integration cannot happen. Backend application should allow the request coming from the front end. So that's why we need to specify @cross origin. Otherwise, you can't access that. Okay. Then after this, we have created components. Create component account list component and account edit component we have done. Then import the forms module, then configure routings. So when I click on view accounts, it will go to accounts UR. When I click on create account, it will go to create account. That routing we configured in the router module. Okay, router module is available. There we configure the routing. If you don't give any URL pattern, it will redirect you to the accounts by default. And application logic is available in the create component file. So this is the logic which is used to create our account. And this is the logic to display the file. Component template file is available. It is displaying our form like this. When you click on the submit button, account will be created. When you go to view accounts, account will be displayed. Got it. Next one, account list. So to display the accounts, we have three functions. One function just to display the accounts, one function to edit that. Currently, we don't have any edit functionality. We need to implement the edit functionality. Currently, edit is not working. When I click on edit, it should give the data in the editable mode and I should be able to update. Activate and deactivate. Currently, this logic also we have not implemented. So we need to implement that logic as well. Right. Then we have done the presentation logic for the account list component. Now edit and update functionality is pending, guys. Edit and update functionality is pending. So we need to complete edit and update. Navigation bar is available. For footer also, we can give something like this. We can add the footer in the app component template file. App.component. Router is completed. Then I can write the footer. So now all rights reserved. We are getting the footer also for our application. For all the pages, the footer will come. You can add the footer also like this. So in the today's evening session, we will work on edit functionality and we will work on activate and deactivate functionality. In the today evening, we'll work on edit functionality and activate and deactivate functionality. Is that fine for everyone? Edit functionality and activate and deactivate functionality we will work on in the evening session. I will update the document. Today evening at 9:30 p.m. we have the class. We'll complete this UI for admin module. Edit functionality is pending and activate, deactivate. When I click on activate, it should be activated. That status also should change as per the current status of the record. Okay, what are the remaining functionalities are available? We will implement that in the today evening 9:30 p.m. class. Got it. And I will update this document for the development. I want you people to complete the remaining logic. Whatever that I have done in the class, same thing you need to do. In the evening session, I will explain how to implement edit functionality and how to implement activate and deactivate functionality. I will update the notes. Good. Anybody having any questions on this? Guys, one person developing the entire application is very difficult. You have seen when we are developing front end, back end parallelly, lot of issues we are going to get. So lot of bugs we will get. We need to resolve them and we need to make sure our application is working as expected. Are you clear with this? Anybody having any doubts? You can unmute and you can ask me. Today evening also we have a class. Evening we will work on edit functionality and soft delete functionality.
Sir, most of the times this duty, the integration duty is took by front-end developer.
No, sir. Now we are going to work as a full stack developer. Na? You need to take care of that.
Full stack is okay, sir. Full stack person is okay. From a Java developer.
Yeah, you need to take care of that integration part. You should know the integration part. Now I'm doing the integration. Na? I'm managing my front end and my back end both parallelly.
Okay, sir.
Are you getting my point? Yes. Any other questions, anyone? Anybody having any other questions? Yes, I'm not good with this CSS and all that stuff. So if you don't,
Hello, sir.
the UI is not good, don't worry. I'm not that
Hello,
much
sir.
comfortable in the CSS and Bootstrap. Yes, sir.
Sir, hello.
Yes, tell me.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, I joined just now in the meeting. Sir, have we implemented that roles and privileges for that application in
Not yet, sir. We are
Angular?
working on the integration part, sir. We are integrating front end and back.
Okay. So we will
Yeah, today evening also we have
implementing
a class. Yeah, we will implement that. Today evening we have a class. Today evening we are going to work on the pending functionality in the API.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, cool, good. All right, guys, thank you. Please do this implementation in your system also. Today evening we'll connect and we'll work on the pending part.
Hi, sir. Just one simple doubt, sir, I have.
Yeah, please.
Sir, from the Git repository, I was just going through the codes. Sir, there you didn't mention any mapping in the entity classes. So how it is going to store all the data?
We will do the mapping also, sir. Now I have done that mapping as well. I have to commit my latest code. If you see my user account entity, so this user account entity is mapped with plan entity and app entity, all that stuff. I need to commit these codes.
Okay.
Okay.
I just got confused. There is no mapping in the entity, so
I will commit my latest code for that. I will push my latest.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Fine, guys. We'll meet at 9:30 p.m. We'll complete the remaining UI part in the Angular application for edit and status update part. Thank you, guys.